I'm Marie, and this is my daughter, Antoinette. We've been going to Cross Island YMCA for 6.5 years. Antoinette was born 4 weeks early. She was only 3 pounds 9 ounces. Since she was so small, the doctor said the YMCA can help build her muscles and stuff up. So I went to YMCA, she started swim class there. And she started working on her muscles, working on her legs, and eventually she started swimming.
When I wake up in the morning, I think about, is my friends gonna be there at the Y?
The YMCA is a very safe haven for kids to go to get a chance to exercise, and get a chance to express themselves, get a chance to find their own identity, find out what they like to do.
Every day we have an activity after we do homework. My friends at the Y, we swim and we do music in Spanish. I go to the Y after school because my mom stays at work late. The YMCA is my second home.
Recently, I got sick at work. They picked up and took me to the hospital. I was in surgery for 3.5 hours. And Antoinette was at the YMCA. But each day I was in the hospital, I knew that it made a difference because I knew my baby was safe at the YMCA. The YMCA made sure that she was taken care of. Once the YMCA called the hospital and said, "Miss Slaughter, we got your child today," I didn't worry no more.
The YMCA is the best place to be because it got activities.
Such as
Swimming,
soccer,
after school,
basketball.
and mostly of all strong kids that help kids in need just like me.
Thank you, YMCA.
Hi, I'm David Ho. I'm from Jamaica, Queens, and I've been a member of the Y for about 20 years. When I was younger, my mom worked as a seamstress. Came home around 8:30, 9. My father worked late hours because he was a chef. And if I was lucky, I'd see him when he got home around midnight. I was one of those turnkey kids. I would go home after school. I had my own key, and I would just take care of myself. They kind of just trusted that I wouldn't set the house on fire. So at 12, I ended up discovering the YMCA, and I had such an amazing summer there that there was no other place I wanted to be. When I first joined, no idea what I was going to be doing. Joined all these programs. I did the Global Teens program, I did the Youth in Government program. I actually worked for Senator Hillary Rodham Clinton for a while. She knew my name, it was really cool. And I didn't have time to get myself in trouble because I had no time to waste. That's too many things that I wanted to do. It set this foundation for me of who I am and how I treat myself and the standards I live by. I'm in commercial real estate right now. It's a full commission job. It's a big risk, but it gives me that same thrill that I would have gotten at the YMCA in the Youth and Government program when they asked me to stand in front of the state legislature assembly and speak in front of hundreds of people. Everybody has to find a part of their happiness. The YMCA is definitely a part of my happiness. Thank you, YMCA.
I'm David Pineda of Brooklyn, New York, a member of the North Brooklyn YMCA for the past 4 years. I was introduced to the YMCA when I was deployed to Iraq. The MWR, Morale, Welfare, and Recreation Department, brought up the YMCA having a program for soldiers who were serving. If you're deployed as a soldier, the YMCA will give your family a free membership. I was like, I'm gonna sign the family up, and while I was in Iraq doing my thing, I figured my wife could be involved and do something here while I was away. The biggest thing for us initially was just to stay in shape, stay active. We're signing up for one program here, one program there, and next thing you know, we have a whole week schedule kind of built up where we're constantly at the YMCA in one capacity or the other. I feel like it's more of a community than a gym that we belong to. Every time we walk in, they know my name, they know my kid's name, and it feels like a relationship that's been building over the years.
Hi, Birdie.
Yeah, hi, Birdie.
We've extended our family into the YMCA. My mother was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. She came to the Y because of me when I got back from Iraq. Slowly but surely, she was able to bring down her weight, so that was a great help to her. From there, my aunt and my uncle, we dragged them as well. My uncle was very obese, and he lost about a good 30, 40 pounds. Nobody was judging them. It was a very welcoming environment. I was very impressed by that token appreciation that the YMCA put forward. It was one less burden financially I had to worry about while I was away. The biggest things we've gained from it is that community environment, the camaraderie that really kind of brings us all together. Thank you, YMCA.
My name is Anthony Patak. I was born in Brooklyn, New York. I now live in Manhattan with my wife and my 5-year-old son. I was diagnosed with brain cancer in early 2011. The tumor was located in the center part of my brain, rendering surgery impossible. I have a rare form of brain cancer called CNS lymphoma, which attacks the central nervous system. Your body becomes an enemy of you, but hopefully through rehabilitation, I can create new pathways in my brain to make my body work. My 5-year-old son is the greatest inspiration in my life. He was born with Down syndrome. He has challenges of his own, and I see the work that he puts in to developing himself physically and mentally. If he can do it, I can do it. Getting back into community life, I needed a place to go, and I thought, the YMCA, let me go there. This is the answer. The YMCA allows for aspiration to goals beyond what you ever could imagine. I want to learn how to walk without a cane. I want to ride a bicycle. I want to ice skate. And I want to be able to pick my son up. My son would look at me and say, "Dad, how come we can't play? How come you can't pick me up?" And you know, within a couple of weeks working at the YMCA, I was doing push-ups. I was doing cardiovascular work. I was doing things that my doctor did not expect me to be able to do, thanks to my trainers at the YMCA. The most exciting thing that has ever happened was the moment that I came home. My son was waiting for me at the door, and he was looking at me. He said, "Hi, Dad." And he put his arms up. And you know what this means. Any parent knows that he wants me to pick him up. And he says, "Dad, up." And I had this newfound confidence. And I said to myself, now is the time I can do this. And I reached down to my son, and I braced my arms around him. I concentrated, and I picked my son up, and I gave him a big hug. And I walked down the hallway. We sat down in a chair in his bedroom, and I read him a bedtime story. And he went to sleep that night, and I cried a little bit. And he knew, and I knew, what that moment was. My son knew that Dad loves him, and that Dad wasn't not picking him up because he didn't love him, but Dad was sick, he couldn't. And the YMCA gave me the ability to get back to being the father that I knew that I could be with him. Thank you, YMCA.